Just mention the word child support or child custody, and literally some men's faces will turn blue. It's that scary. It's that fearful. And for some men, it's that evil. And that's what we're talking about today. The struggles that men see or that they have with child support, not just with paying for child support, but with seeing the kid from an estranged wife or a disgruntled girlfriend. Before I get into that, there was an interesting case that happened about 8 years ago in Kansas. And this is a very weird thing, but this man decided to donate his sperm to a lesbian couple. And of course, well, let's find out what happened.
Back in 2009, William Murata from Kansas saw an ad on Craigslist from a lesbian couple. The lesbian couple wanted to get pregnant and they were looking for a sperm donor. Well, Murata wanted to help them out, so he did offer 3 cups of his sperm, not cupfuls, but 3 cups of his sperm to the lesbian couple so they can use it for artificial insemination. Well, the lesbian couple did use the sperm and they did become pregnant, and they had a little girl in December of 2009. Now, 5 years later, unfortunately, the couple separated and one of them got extremely sick and they needed help financially to raise their daughter. So they petitioned the state to get some sort of governmental assistance so they can take care of their child. Well, in the process of doing so, the state of Kansas ruled that the sperm donor is actually the one who is financially responsible for the child, even though he signed paperwork indicating that he would not be financially responsible or have any parental responsibility whatsoever. So this did go to court, and the Shawnee County District Court Judge Mary Mativi has said that, nope, sorry, since you did not go to a physician and do the artificial insemination that way, you will be responsible for the financial well-being of this child.
Unfortunately for that guy, his life got screwed just like that. In the state of Kansas, that's what happened to him. But this is happening all over the United States, and for some guys all over the world. And that brings me to today's conversation of former star Bam Margera. Now, he's a former skateboarder, had his own show on MTV, but right now the guy is, having a bad time on some hard luck. And unfortunately for him, he's strung out on drugs. But the one thing that keeps him moving and going is his son, Phoenix. And unfortunately, he's not been able to see his son for a while. Unfortunately, because of his inability to see his child, he's released this particular message online.
Former Jackass and MTV star Bam Margera recently shared a distressing message on social media. In the post, he blames his family and his estranged wife for not allowing him to see his son. And he claims that he will resort to continuing to abuse substances until his death if he is not allowed to see his son, Phoenix. Margera's legal representatives say that his estranged wife have not allowed him to have contact with his son, even over FaceTime, though Nikki in return filed legal documents seeking sole physical custody over Phoenix. On top of this, she's asking for $15,000 per month in child support. She is, however, open to supervised visitation rights for Margera, contingent on him completing rehab programs for alcohol and drug abuse. Margera had this to say in a video message shared on his social media.
This is an official message to anybody that cares about me whatsoever. I haven't seen Phoenix in 2 months, and I'm so fed up. I cry every day. I miss him so much, and I know that I have to wake up every day knowing that I probably won't get to talk to him or see him. So yes, Nikki drives me to drink. So does my mom, and so does my pep talking dad, who tells me nothing but I'm a fat loser, piece of drug addict loser. So, and my mom is a brain manipulator, and my brother stole Castle Bam, and he thinks it's called Castle Jess, and then I have to listen to my mom say, Bam, you do have a house. Really, Abe? Where? Well, it's Castle Bam. Well, if I go there, then the police will come. And Naveed the shaman, my best friend, came in from Persia, and I can't even go show him my own property. I gotta stand behind the gate. So, yeah, April, I don't have a house. So I'm going to smoke crack with the bums down at the boardwalk until I'm dead, unless you deliver me Phoenix. Get to work, Nikki, or anybody that wants to help. I want Phoenix.
Margera's estranged wife, Nikki's attorney, fired back in response to the video, writing, Unfortunately, that's not how addictions work. People's behavior does not drive others to drink. This is a typical defense mechanism, and it shows that Bam may not have learned much in his past addictions treatment. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. Nikki sincerely hopes that Bam can first achieve and then maintain sobriety for his own good and for the good of their son.
I know what some guys are going to say. Well, listen, man, this guy is messed up. The guy obviously is on drugs. He wants to do drugs. And, no woman should release the child to somebody as careless as him. And I agree. I get your point. In this case, it seems like the guy is very unstable. But the question is this: is this ordeal happening to guys who are stable? I would say yes. I mean, I've done interviews with countless men who have in fact experienced this, guys who were employed, guys who filed for child support and was willing to pay it, only to find that the mom got up and moved to another city, moved to another state. So the guy has to try to find the other person and try to find his kid, then not be allowed to even attend graduation, all kind of things, right? Just wants to see his son for 15 minutes or their daughter for 15 minutes. And the mother is doing all kind of stuff. The mother is telling, this particular man that, hey, you can't come see the kid, but then telling the child, your dad doesn't love you, your dad doesn't care about you. And then this child grows up with a disdain for the father because the father was never there. But they don't even know that the father's been writing letters, the father's been sending money, and the father wants to have the relationship with this particular child, but the mother doesn't want that relationship to develop. So then the question is this: if your wife or your girlfriend won't let you see your child, what do you do? And I got this answer from, shout out to Adam, divorce attorney for men. This is what he has to say.
So what can I do if my parenting time is being denied? What if my ex or soon-to-be ex is not letting me see my kids? So this question comes up frequently. It just came up today with a potential client I was talking to about what should you be doing to see your kids? And the answer isn't always, let's just go to court. The person I was talking to today, they can't go to court. The county they're in, it's going to be months and months before there would really be a court appearance. And of course, that might be part of why the wife is refusing the parenting time and knows that she's getting away with it for the time being. But what else can there do? Are there other strategies that you can use? And are there other things that can be done? Are there things that your attorney should be thinking of that can be done to make sure that you're seeing your kids? But anyways, what do you do? What's your strategy? Well, one thing is documentation. Make sure that if you're trying to see your kids and your wife's refusing to let you see them, or ex-wife, whatever it might be, make sure you have proof of that. Send emails, send letters, send text messages, whatever it is. Get proof of the refusal of you seeing the kids. The client I was talking to today, she has a lawyer. So send it to the lawyer. I get that your wife could ignore it, ex-wife could ignore it, girlfriend, whatever it is. But if the person has an attorney, they have to respond. So send them a letter, send them an email, and just say, hey, I'm looking to see my kids. Give them a specific time. He wants to see them this Friday. He can come get them, whatever. There's no reason that he shouldn't be seeing them. What's the deal? And then get an answer. And if they're refusing, you can use that to document your attempts, because you could be in court a couple months later and the judge says, well, what did you do to try to see the kids? What makes you think she was refusing to let you see the kids? She's saying you never really tried to see them. You weren't worried about it. So you need to be able to counteract that so that kind of stuff isn't being said in court. All too many times you get into court and everybody's got some version of the story. It's he said, she said. She's going to act like she doesn't know what you're talking about. Of course, I was going to let him see the kids. And you want to be able to prove that wasn't the case, that you weren't just trying to see them and really making no effort, that you had specific places and times and things that you wanted to see happen. And it was just a campaign of completely refusing over and over. So documentation is important. It's good for when you end up in court. It's good for lots of other reasons. It can be useful for many things. When you're in court, it can lead to asking for attorney fees and sanctions and all sorts of other things because someone was being completely unreasonable and refusing to let you see your kids, and there was no basis.
So shout out to that particular divorce attorney. He says, listen, make sure you document the fact that you tried to see your child and your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife or your estranged separated wife is saying no. Send an email, send a text message, say, hey, I want to see my son. And when she says, no, you can't see your son, or oops, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to see your son. Now you have what is called proof. And instead of you going out and saying, hey, I've been trying to see my son, then she can just lie and say, you have been trying to see the son, or your daughter, and she hasn't been allowing you to do it. And in fact, you find out how evil somebody can be, man, once the relationship is over. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't look at. When you're with a woman and everything is great, but now you're not together and there's some animosity towards you because of whatever happened in the relationship, unfortunately, the child suffers behind that. And in the case of Bam Margera, the guy is saying, listen, I'm willing to take my own life and to keep smoking crack because I can't see my son. I cry every single day. And I know people are going to say, well, listen, man, that guy's on drugs and all of that. And I talked about that before. But do you know how many men cry every day because they can't see their son or they can't see their daughter, and they're upstanding citizens? They're lawyers. They're doctors. Some of them, believe it or not, are policemen. Yes, these are the guys who protect and serve. They put other guys in jail for not paying child support, yet they're paying child support and they can't see their own kid themselves. It happens to firefighters. It happens to even judges. So guys, the system is out there. But again, never give up on your kid. And if you want to see your kid, make the effort. The court process is a long time. I'm not an attorney, but shout out to the lead attorney. He also specializes in this. Go check him out. But yes, take the precautions that you need to see your child. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode here. I'm out.